Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lamina. If you're new here, please do subscribe. Tap the bell for all to be notified when I post new content. And of course, like and comment on this video. We're stepping into the energy of single divine feminines. You may resonate as a divine feminine. You may resonate as a divine masculine. However it goes, the energy we're tapping in here energy-wise is divine feminine. We're going to see how you view dating right now, or how your counterpart views dating, because you could be here watching for a divine feminine, as well as what are some of their turn-offs and how they view you. When it comes to intimacy and the connection, the draw, how do they view the situation? This is for divine feminines that are single. So you're either in the dating process, maybe you have your eyes on someone, or someone has their eyes on you. We're going to be using my soul sister's Maruk's deck, as well as my other soul sister, Divine Moon Empress, Lyrics of the Heart. We're using the Dating Oracle, Lovers Sex Oracle, and of course the Turn-Offs Oracle from Maruk. And then we're going to be tapping into a new deck I have, the Sexy Lenormand Party deck. All of the links for these decks will be in the description as always. I've also charged this reading with my soul sister's wand. This is the Yin and Yang, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine wand. I've cleansed everything, charged it with that energy. We're going to hop into the first card of what we have here for this collective. Remember that this is a general reading for the collective, so only take what resonates, leave what doesn't. First thing we have off the bat is the Nine of Wands, and this is from the Erotic Fantasy Tarot. So the Nine of Wands here works a little different than what you would normally think. And remember, I'm an intuitive reader, so how it gets read is intuitive, is what channels into me. We have a divine feminine that's gaining the willpower to really step into their sensual side, step into their sexuality more. You might have been someone that felt like you had to cover that part of you a lot, or you had to conceal what you were into, what you liked, what you wanted to talk about. Could have been for religious reasons. Could have been that you kind of were at odds based on your upbringing. You might have been at odds with what you thought was appropriate and what you thought wasn't appropriate. And now you're learning how to have the willpower to just stand your ground and step into your own. I also feel like some of you who came out of bad breakups or bad relationships probably gave you a messed up view of your sensuality. Perhaps the person you were with really didn't try to please you, really didn't invest time in making sure that your pleasure was a thing, didn't care about what you were into or what you liked. So that made you withdraw, pull back, especially if you're someone where intimacy, in order for you to really be intimate with somebody, especially continuously, you have to have some type of affection, love, and appreciation for them. So the more they didn't appreciate you, the more you lost appreciation for them. And that made you less sexual with them, which also kind of made you question if you were sexy enough, if you were sensual enough. Again, take what resonates. That's for some of you, not all of you. But it's now you're at this point where you're like, you know what? I'm a divine feminine. I'm stepping into my sensual side. Divine feminines are sensual by nature. I'm going to allow that side of me out. And it's nothing wrong with that, because sensuality and spirituality flow with each other. They're one and the same in many incidents. So you understand how sacred sex is, how sacred the energy exchange between two partners are. This is something you're coming to terms with and something that you're starting to learn about yourself. So that's what I get here from this Nine of Wands. It's the willpower to stand up after all the struggle of back and forth, especially for many of you in your teen years. In your teen years, there was a lot of back and forth. And for others, maybe early 20s. And now, whatever age you may be, there's no age limit here for this reading. Whatever age you may be, now you really accept it. For others, you always knew, you just kept it dormant, or you don't share it with everybody. That's a side of you that only those worthy earn the right to see. I feel like that's how the majority of the divine feminine is here. That's how you are. You've either come out of a promiscuous stage for some of you, or you've always been someone you could only share your body with a person that you deemed was worthy. So when you got with someone that wasn't worthy, you lost interest, but at the same time, they weren't putting in an effort with you. So that's probably where you got that idea of questioning, am I good for this person? So on and so forth. We have the Five of Pentacles here, but the Five of Pentacles energy here feels more like survival and determination. Surviving what that was that you had to gain willpower towards, and being able to realize that with good faith, you weren't left out in the cold. Whatever relationship didn't work out before, It wasn't meant to. And there's no reason to cry over it. There's no reason to feel like, well, I was abandoned, I was left out in the cold, because at the end of the day, that person wasn't worthy. That person didn't deserve your time. So now you're finding yourself coming out of this like wounded warrior energy, more so into this, instead of me just gawking outside in the cold, I'm actually going to tap back into faith. I'm actually going to tap back into the energy of my divine feminine. I want for you to notice with this card, because this is actually really important. This statue that you see here, this statue is very important because it's a statue of a goddess divine feminine. Okay, this is in the beginning, early stages before the patriarch really took over and changed everything and made everything super masculine. Goddesses were actually revered and worshipped, and women were seen pretty much as the connection between heaven and earth, since their body literally channels in life and births it into the world. So this is someone kind of going back to that time period in a sense. They're going back to a time where women were more appreciated, women were more revered, the divine feminine energy. Even if they're a masculine who operates from their divine feminine, they're going back to a time in their mind when that divine feminine energy was respected and the divine masculine energy was respected. There was a balance. So a huge portion of this is about balance with faith and sensuality, which is why I wasn't shocked when the Hierophant card came out. And if you notice, the keys at his feet is two keys interlocked with each other, and they have the symbols for the genders of feminine and masculine linked together. This is about balance. This is about unity of those feminine and masculine energies, stepping into the faith of all of that. You know, so, but the thing about it is, we have to go there. Some are still suffering from that Five of Pentacles energy. There's still some weight, meaning that after whatever they've been through, and this isn't, you didn't have to break up just yesterday or last year. You could have been broken up for a while, but there are certain habits that you've inherited from that past relationship or those past relationships. How you now view relationships, unfortunately, that has a heavy influence, and that needs to be cleared out. It's one thing to say, okay, I learned from my lessons, I can grow and expand. It's different to pick up the bad habit of being super judgmental of someone, or thinking that every man is one way, every masculine energy can only think or feel one way. Because again, the point of going back to that old school way is to recognize that while the divine feminine energy was sacred and is sacred and holy, the divine masculine energy was also recognized for that. The divine feminine energy is the creator energy. It births creation. It can go within itself to create life. Earth doesn't need you to plant seeds in order to spring it forth. However, the divine masculine is the co-creating energy that feminine energy made to balance itself out. And that masculine is no less important. So you have to have respect for both energies in order to be balanced within yourself, let alone to respect whether it be the opposite sex or someone that just operates from that opposite energy. You must have respect for your inner divine feminine and your inner divine masculine. And when you judge one group over the other, when you say all women are like this, all men are like that, you're setting yourself up for failure, whether it's in love or something else, because those masculine and feminine energies play into everything. It's not just about your physical form or your sexual form. It plays into everything. So I feel like the Hierophant came out here to remind you of that. And again, look at what she's doing. She's kneeling before this statue, bare before this statue. It's like she's laying down her burdens, like she's making this decision to realize, yes, I feel this depleted or lost, maybe anxiety type energy, but I'm choosing in this moment to lay all that down and tap into a higher power of self, a higher power of the universe, of the divine. I'm choosing to do that. And the Hierophant comes here like, yes, please do. Please do that. Now let's get into the counterpart here. Let's get into how the counterpart plays into this. We have mutual feelings. I feel the same way. I want to clarify once again, most of the divine feminines I channeled this reading for are single. There's either someone you're interested in, could be your twin flame, could be your soulmate, however, whatever, or you could be in separation from that person. You may or may not know who this is already, but energetically, you feel each other. What you feel in that Nine of Wands energy, that grounding yourself, your counterpart, wherever they may be, they're feeling something similar. Not only because they're picking it up from you, Divine Feminine, but because they're going through a similar situation. I feel like some of the Divine Masculines live the player life. They played around a little bit, and that's getting boring, or it's always been boring. They did it for, self-validation, to feel worthy, to feel wanted, to not feel alone. You'll be shocked how many Divine Masculines actually a lot of times get into sleeping around because they don't like being alone. They don't like feeling as if there's no one to go home to. And at the same time, they deal with trust issues. So a lot of times to settle on one person means to put a lot of trust in that one person, and they struggle with that. How they operate, how they go about those feelings may be different than the Divine Feminine in most cases, but it stems from a similar feeling and from a similar origin. So I feel like some of you were dealing with, or you have a counterpart, that's where their mentality is. Like, I'm tired of this. This is getting old. I have a mutual feeling for the person that I'm feeling this spiritual connection to. I think I should try and tap into that, or at least work my way up to being worthy for that. So there's mutual feelings here. If you're thinking of talking to somebody and you've been wondering, perhaps this is the answer for you. Perhaps now you know where their head's at. There's mutual feelings in how they like you, but there's also mutual feelings in how this journey is processing for them. You're just going through it in two different ways. What's the turnoff though? Now this turnoff, I want you to understand, is coming from the Five of Pentacles energy. So it's going to resonate different for all of you. For some of you, the turnoff is the person being overly nice. And if you're a Divine Masculine watching this, that could be your turnoff for the Divine Feminine. They might seem like too good to be true. Like, how are you this nice? How are you this kind? How do you always know what to say? And I feel like for the Divine Feminines, take what resonates and make sure that you're being honest with yourself. Some of you feel like the person's overly nice because you've been burnt before. You've dated somebody that seemed like, Prince Charming, masculine charming, and they had all the right things to say and do, and they were nice, and your mama and your daddy loved them, and blah, blah, blah. And so now when this person came in, you're kind of projecting. You're projecting what you went through before on this new person. Now for others, you had, this person might be just a little too nice. They might be hiding something from you. Whether or not what they're hiding, it's super serious, or whether it's just something, sometimes people are nervous about revealing everything. What is a date really? Honestly, a date should be where you're yourself. You're yourself, you introduce yourself, you act like you. There's no need to put on a show. But most of the time, what the majority of people do, they act like what they think you're into. They present themselves in the way that they believe you will respond, and that they can gain your trust, gain your sex and everything else. So this could be someone that's acting overly nice because they think that you won't like the real them. They think that you won't settle for the real them. We also have Sagittarius energy here strong with this Nine of Wands. You might have a fire sign in your chart. You could be a Sagittarius, and or the person you're into could be that. You could have other fire signs, but the Nine of Wands, it's giving me strong Sagittarius vibes. The Five of Pentacles is giving me that Taurus and Mercury vibe. And then the Hierophant is, of course, Taurus vibe. So we have a lot of Taurus energy here, a lot of the bull, a lot of the stubbornness here right now. But at the same time, Tauruses, once they become loyal, when they step into true loyalty and not the half-butt version of loyalty, because yes, I like to call y'all all out. Everybody got a vice somewhere. When they step into true loyalty and they understand, I'm giving and receiving with this person, they can give all of themselves. So you might be dealing with someone who's nervous of you being overly nice because they're like, man, if I fall, it's going to take a hot minute to come about this loving you energy, okay? So just come correct. Don't be overly nice to play me now. Like, don't do it. And that's whether it's coming from the feminine or the masculine. But there's this duality of being over nice. And again, someone in the collective, you are dealing with someone that you need to be mindful of. Their over nice is covering something, and you need to let them reveal what it is that they're covering before you invest all of yourself. Next, we get into choice overload. You may resonate with everything on this card. You may only resonate with some of what's on this card. We have too many options, the path of excuses for pleasure, difficult for them to be loyal to one lover. And what was I just saying about Taurus when it comes to their true loyalty versus the half-butt version of loyalty? And that is a Taurus card in male. So you could be dealing with a masculine that's a Taurus. You watching this could be the masculine that has a Taurus, and you're trying to figure out how you can get this divine feminine to open up to you, or how you can get this divine feminine to realize your true intentions and your true feelings. I feel like at one point in time, because again, different people resonating in, I feel like at one point in time, this masculine energy dealt with having too many options, but not just with people, more so too many ways that they could try to approach you and too many variables of what could go wrong. So don't take it right away as, oh, they were just a plethora of women or a plethora of feminine energies they were messing with. I'm picking up that a lot of them were just, again, they might have had a certain type of past. They're overly nice because they kind of don't want to reveal that. They think you'll judge them. And they found themselves going, okay, but if I lie, that's a problem. If I tell the truth, that could be a problem. If I try to be something in the middle, that could be a problem. And they don't know what to do. They're kind of in panic mode. So they try to play it by ear as best as they can. But for others, yeah, their energy was coming towards you. Their energy was, I want this person. This person feels like I should be with them, because they may not know what a divine feminine is. They could just be learning that. All they know is when they're around you, when they see you, maybe when they see a picture. Again, some of you may have not met face to face yet, but whenever your energy is in the vicinity, they're super drawn to you, and they can't explain why. At the same time, they could distract themselves with the plethora of other options that were lingering around them, but it didn't measure. Even if they've never been intimate with you, when they lay with those people, it feels awkward. Like they get whatever they get to get off in the moment, and then afterwards they're like, okay, this felt wrong. I'm not even with this other person, so why do I feel like I cheated? Or why do I feel like I did something bad? So take it how it is for your situation. It'll all reveal itself in time if this is someone that you haven't met face to face yet, or maybe again, you know them, you're crushing on them, but you just haven't like hooked up. And then for that excuses for pleasure one, again, there's some tipsy-turviness going on here. I feel like that other person is overly nice because you do need to see what they're hiding. Like, what is it going on? Don't give your heart too soon before you find out. That person might keep trying to just make up excuses to lay with you. Might be overly nice because they want to get in your drawers. I'm just saying. You know your situation. You know who you're talking to and who you're dealing with. For others, again, the person is into you. There's mutual feelings here. The question is, how much are they willing to invest in those feelings? Are they going to really meet you? Because again, the Hierophant's about balance as well, and stability as well. Faith and tradition. Are they going to meet you halfway? Or are they just like, hey, come over here to me. I can use you all up. And then when I get bored or I get done, I'm going to toss you out. Use your discernment. Know which person, because you could have a counterpart that's not ready for this level of dating or commitment yet. I feel like you've been through enough. You're not trying to just play around per se. It's not that all of the divine feminists here want to feel tied down per se, but you're not willing to be one of many and plenty, if that makes sense. And then lastly, again, a Taurus that has a difficulty committing to one lover, which again fits that first option of too many options. I also feel like you could be dealing with a Taurus that, yeah, they can commit. That's not the problem. They're just scared to. Because they went through their own version of Nine of Wands. They went through their own version of Five of Pentacles, just like you, just in a different way. And their response to it was different. They might have a lack of faith in themselves because of their own responses. So if they were somebody that played around, like she played on me, I'm going to play on her, blah, 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 or whatever, take it how it resonates, whatever your preference is, then they might have found themselves going, I don't think I could be in a committed relationship because what if this person burns me? What if I assume something and I burn them, like portray them, etc. So it's more so like a head game with them. Let's get into the Lenormand, and then we're going to get into what the lyrics are of how they feel. Okay, so with the Sexy Lenormand party deck, we have Bear 15, which is also number 6, if we add it up. So we have strength, power, wealth, boss, resources. I feel like this is your energy and their energy. So again, the word mutual keeps standing out. It's like you guys would have a mutual ground. Even if one of you may have more success than the other, both of you are so brilliant and so bright and very strong to survive the different things that you've both come through. Divine Feminine, notice that the bear, it says, I love you. I'll see if I can get it to focus. It says, I love you on the bear's paw right there. So there's a chance here for deep-rooted emotions. There's a chance here for something to bloom and blossom, depending on which of this collective you resonate with, of course. But you could definitely be dealing with somebody that's wealthy, or about to deal with someone that's wealthy. You could be a boss yourself, whether it's bossing up in life in general or in career. A lot of resources and opportunity are available to you. You or your person, because 15, it goes down to the number 6. So you or your person could be social, very sociable person. Especially, Tauruses, sometimes they like to be to themselves, and then sometimes they can be very social. It all depends, especially if you're dealing with one that has a lot of loneliness that they feel. They tend to like to cloud that over by socializing. Though it's weird because they can sit in a space and socialize, but at the same time not be a part of the madness all at once. So take what resonates, because you Divine Feminine, you could be the Taurus. Okay, so we have Clover, a little luck, opportunity, and reward. That's number 2. And we know number 2 is about, sometimes it's choices or feeling stuck. Choosing to tap into your power. Choosing to realize that luck is on your side. Now, the person you're dealing with might feel like they have little luck, but the bottom line is the Clover is still here. There's still an opportunity. You might be a full-figured person. Your masculine could be full-figured, to be honest. Like, take what resonates. But your masculine might be into that. They might be into the curves, the thickness of it all. That's what I just heard, the thickness of it all. You know your person. If you've ever talked to or socialized with them before, you know if they talk like that. I do feel like an opportunity for this connection to be rewardful. For those of you that certain parts resonated with, I do feel like there's an opportunity for this relationship to bloom. But you're going to have to take your time, because, again, one of you might end up being more spiritual than the other. One could just be starting their journey, whereas the other you've been on it for a while. One could be newly single while the other's been single for a while. I feel like some of the masculines and or feminines could be caught up in situations that they're trying to get out of. They're trying to balance out. That could be another reason why that too many options is there. It's like it's too many options on how to come towards you, to tap into that little luck, to tap into that opportunity. However, there's a whole situation that needs to be resolved, a whole situation that needs to be cleansed out. So that could be another reason why, if you felt their presence, you might be feeling that they're stalling. And look at that. We have number 25, ring, commitment, agreement, union. And that falls right with the Hierophant. So clearing out this choice overload, finally making a decision. Because remember, when we add all these numbers up to their single digits, that has a meaning too. So if they are feeling stuck in a situation, like they need to make a choice in order to move forward, the forward motion they may want to take is commitment with you. And we know that, again, when that energy, and you don't have to be a Taurus, you don't have to be a Sagittarius. It's about what is that sign bringing to this reading. Tauruses can be very loyal when they fully commit themselves. They're somebody that if they love you, I mean genuinely, wholeheartedly love you, you're their counterpart, you mean the world to them. They will commit. They will follow you into several lives if you let them. So this is someone that wants to be sure. They might be nervous on how to approach you. They want to be sure. So they might have to clean out all of that other energy that could be toxic to this relationship in order to come forward to you. But again, for whoever might be dealing with someone that's overly nice and you have a bad feeling, listen to your intuition. But make sure it's coming from your intuition and not your opinion based on past experiences with this 5 of Pentacles energy. Yeah, that 25, that goes into 7. So that's how you respond to a problem, how you respond to a situation. So their response to that choice overload is commitment, agreement, and union based on their faith within the Hierophant. So whatever their faith background may be, I feel like for most of you, you could be coming out of the old school understandings of tradition into more spiritual. Again, the statue, this predates Christianity. It predates a lot of the more popular views of religion. So you could be tapping back into that energy and just grounding yourself in full spirituality. Take what resonates, leave what don't. What does the Divine Masculine have to say? What song plays here? And it's a number 4. That's interesting. We have I need your body in ways that you don't understand, but I'm losing my patience because we've been going over and over again. I just want to take you home and get right to it. This is Chris Brown's Privacy. I'll put the song title in the description for you guys to listen to. I know for those of you that are used to my song readings, you're probably like, why did you say it and not sing it? Because I don't feel like it. I don't feel like singing today. That's why I didn't do a song reading. And then this deck over here, this Lyrics of the Heart, decided to join the party. It wasn't even supposed to be included. It just came to the party, to this Lenormand party deck party. So I'm not singing today, my loves. But that's the energy of 4. These numbers may mean something to you guys. This could be birthdays, date of month, could be when you meet somebody, could have been when you believed you found or saw this divine masculine. But number 4 is about gaining stability. So this, some of you are definitely dealing with, or your soul is connected to a person that wants a stable relationship, especially with the Hierophant here. And that 9 of Wands, that's standing up and having the willpower to push through, to go forward. Take what resonates, my loves, leave what doesn't, but that's your reading. That's tonight's Venus love reading this Friday evening. If I feel compelled to do another one, I will post it. Peace, love, light, and blessings, beautiful souls.